for joining us today. I'm Representative Bill Taylor of Macon. I have some brief opening remarks, then the others will speak, and then we'll take the questions we have. This is the South Carolina FairTax bill. It's filed today in the House of Representatives. It has 63 sponsors. That is a majority of the House of Representatives. It also is the bill with the largest number of sponsors that's been filed this year. Most importantly, it's a jobs bill. This is all about jobs. It's a game changer for South Carolina. Economic development people around the state have told me that if we can enact the South Carolina FairTax, we can be a magnet for creating businesses and drawing businesses to South Carolina, and that creates jobs that we sorely need. For both the citizens of South Carolina and the businesses, April 15th will just be another day. There won't be state income tax to file for corporate or personal. Instead of the state income tax, corporate or personal income tax, what we'll have is, and no sales tax, we'll have just one tax, and that's a tax on new goods and services. It's real easy. You buy something new, you'll pay a tax. The South Carolina FairTax is really bold tax reform. We've been under the burden of very unfair taxes for a very long time. Just look at the sales tax alone. We actually exempt more in sales tax than we collect. And that's just not fair for everyone. The fair tax is going to be revenue neutral. It's been calculated to be that we won't increase taxes. It will just simply change the way we collect taxes. The legislators that are surrounding me right here deserve a great deal of credit. They have stood up for bold tax reform. 63 of them so far, and surely more will join all of that. They know that change is needed in our tax structure in South Carolina. But most importantly, the real credit goes to all the fair tax volunteers and the supporters. The people of the Fair Tax organization have worked very hard for a couple of years to bring this all together so that we can be here today with a bill in the House of Representatives. There's also a bill in the state Senate, and Larry Brooms is the sponsor of that bill.
Thank you very much. It's a great day in South Carolina. 63 House members have now said the South Carolina FairTax should become a reality. What a great day. We're going to get it done because the South Carolina FairTax is the only type of fair tax we can have. If we want to grow our economy, if we want to create jobs in South Carolina, it's ludicrous to tax the very thing that you work hard for, income. You should not be taxing income. That is wrong. We're going to make sure, we're going to create an opportunity for people to make money in South Carolina. We're going to grow our economy, and the only way we're going to be able to do this successfully is to become the first state to pass the fair tax. The South Carolina fair tax will become a reality thanks to the hard work of these people right behind me. These 63 House members who understand that you either work for the taxpayer or for the tax spenders. Too many people in Columbia work for the tax spenders. No longer. We're going to get it done. We have got a good group behind me. We've got 11 sponsors in the South Carolina Senate, but thank goodness for the House with 63 sponsors. We're going to get it done. It is a great day in South Carolina, and I'm proud to be a part of this movement. Let me add one more thing. The South Carolina Republican Party is going through the process of reorganization, and I'm calling upon the people of South Carolina in every county to pass resolutions to make sure that the South Carolina fair tax is a part of the Republican platform. When those that seek office with the Republican Party, I want to make sure that they are folks that understand what is in the platform and that they will do everything they can to ensure that the Republican platform is enacted. But we need grassroots support in every county to make sure resolutions are passed so that the South Carolina fair tax is a component of the South Carolina Republican Party.
Good afternoon, I'm John Steinberger with scfairtax.org. We're the grassroots group that got this bill in motion. And I can tell you, for whatever ails the South Carolina economy, the fair tax is the cure. It'll put the going in business sign for South Carolina. There are 9 states right now without a personal income tax. That's where the job creators are going. That's where the opportunities are. That's where the wealthy retirees are relocating. We want them to come here. We want them to add to the South Carolina economy. And I guarantee you, when you unleash the consumer, when you let South Carolina consumers keep 7% more of their paycheck, they will support local businesses and they will be in a position to expand and hire. So the people we see behind us right here, they're going to make it happen. It's going to be a new day in South Carolina with the South Carolina FairTax Act in place. Thank you.
Any of you have any questions? We're all prepared to answer them. John's here too. Any specifics?
Senator Cruz, what's the likelihood of this passing the Senate and going to the committee and think it's ready to go? Have you talked to her about signing this bill?
I have confidence that the governor would sign this legislation and brought before her desk. The tough part is going to be the South Carolina Senate. It's much more difficult to pass something in the Senate, and it's wonderful that there's a clear majority in the South Carolina House. That means that it will pass the South Carolina House. Whether it be this session or next, it's going to pass the South Carolina House. The Senate will be a little more difficult. That's why it's important that the South Carolina FairTax become a part of the Republican Party platform so that the voters can judge their Republican representatives in the South Carolina Senate to see whether they support or not support the Republican platform.
It's going to be one of the things that you're really focused on getting passed in the Senate this session?
My primary focus at the beginning of the year was illegal immigration reform. That bill is now passed. Now it's all about the fair tax.
All right. You guys done?
Representative Taylor, talk about what this means, what people need to do to make sure they stir up support for this on the grassroots level. They need to contact their legislatures and especially senators.
Actually, when you ask about how they should do it, this is the guy that should answer that question.
I encourage everyone to go to our website, scfairtax.org, and click on Locate Your Legislators. It gives you the contact information for your state senator and your state representative. Contact them and tell them you want a fair tax bill, that you want to keep 7% more of your paycheck, that you want jobs created in South Carolina, and they'll go along with the will of the people. It's all about the people making contacts, as well as the county GOP organizations passing that resolution for the South Carolina fair tax. It will happen.